2019. British Parliament votes to leave the European Union. The Amazon burns with over 80,000 fires. The lid is blown off the college admissions scandal. Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin being at the center. And Disney Plus and Apple TV Plus get started while Game of Thrones calls it quits. Lil Nas X dominates the airwaves with Old Town Road, while Avengers Endgame owns the silver screen. The Nationals win their first World Series. Tom Brady leads the Patriots to a sixth and final Super Bowl with the team. The Raptors win their first NBA title, and the Blues take the Stanley Cup. Green Book wins Best Picture. Childish Gambino wins Song of the Year with This Is America. And a picture of an egg becomes Instagram's all-time most liked post. 2019 was a year of optimism in the theme park world. We had lots of announcements, lots of openings. That includes of coasters, new sections, and entire parks. The last gasp of normalcy before the calendar flipped over and everything came to a stop. These are the events that changed the theme park industry in 2019. Not every story could make the top 10. Here's the best of the rest. And now, the top 10. July 13th, 2019. Steel Curtain opens to the public at Kennywood. The Pittsburgh Steelers theme coaster was part of a new area called Steelers Country, a nod to their beloved local NFL team, and this would be an S&S Hyperlooper, 220 feet tall, 4,000 feet long, and having 9 inversions, setting a new North American record. It opened 3 months late, construction delays being to blame, and once it opened, it had its share of problems. It closed for 4 days just weeks after it opened, didn't open at all during the COVID-shortened 2020 season, also closed for a month in 2022, shut down in the late summer of 2023, and then the big announcement, an entire season lost in 2024 as the park tried to stabilize the ride with extra supports. This has been nothing but a headache over the first 5 years of its life, but this one-of-a-kind monster of a coaster is also a record holder and makes Kennywood even more of a coaster destination. August 1st, 2019. Universal announces it's building its 4th theme park called Epic Universe, deemed the most immersive and innovative theme park they've ever created. This would have 5 theme lands, but the vague concept art led to a lot of speculation. This would be located off-site of the main Universal Park, down the road a few miles, and construction would start the same month it was announced, set for a 2023 opening. This was delayed by the COVID pandemic, the new target as of 2021 being the summer of 2025. It would face one more challenge, Hurricane Milton damaging the park in October 2024, and shortly after, they announced the official opening date of May 22, 2025. The lands would include Celestial Park, Dark Universe, How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk, Super Nintendo World, and the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic. It's been a 6-year road to get here, but Epic Universe is ready to go and will be huge for Universal when it opens its gates. Following the Blackfish documentary in 2013, SeaWorld's brand took a major PR hit, and the company started rebuilding their image. Their main tactics seemed to be to focus on rides that get people through the gates. In 2019, this became very evident. January 5th, 2019. SeaWorld San Diego announces Mako, a B&M dive coaster, later renamed Emperor. March 1st, 2019. Busch Gardens Tampa announces their RMC Hybrid will be a record breaker. We found out the year prior that Gwazi would be overhauled by RMC, but this announcement confirmed they were going to go above and beyond the existing structure. July 30th, 2019. Pantheon is announced for Busch Gardens Williamsburg, an Intamin multi-launch coaster with a 178-foot top hat. September 12th, 2019. We got a name for the record-breaking hybrid, Iron Gwazi, and SeaWorld Orlando was announced to get Icebreaker, a premier ride swing launch coaster, and SeaWorld San Antonio officially announced their GCI wooden coaster, Texas Stingray. All 5 major parks in the SeaWorld chain would receive a major coaster to open in 2020, and although all of them except for Texas Stingray was delayed till 2022 because of COVID, this wave of announcements in 2019 just solidified SeaWorld's new strategy, and we coaster fans are grateful. September 28th, 2019. The back car of Chimera at La Feria Chapultepec derails, killing 2 passengers and injuring 5 more. This park in Mexico was shut down following the incident, their operational license being revoked, and it was found the ride was running faster than intended, leading to the weakness of the trains in the track and the whole structure. The park would reopen in 2024 with 3 new family coasters, but this spelled the end of the road for Chimera and 3 other coasters at the park. In 2020, Chimera was dismantled and sold to Gene Staples, the new owner of Indiana Beach, and after a long relocation process, the ride reopened in 2024. Chimera was a legend in the coaster world, those who got to ride it being very impressed with the speed it ran, but it was exactly that led to its downfall. February 8th, 2019. King's Dominion makes the gut-wrenching announcement. The beloved Volcano the Blast Coaster would be removed. It wasn't a big shock. It operated for just a few weeks in 2018 before being shut down for the year. The park stating that reliability, capacity, and customer satisfaction had all gone downhill. And after a long time contemplating what to do, this was the final verdict. Volcano opened in 1998, using the old Smurf Mountain as a centerpiece, asking Intamin to build the first ever suspended catapult coaster, and became the first coaster that hangs under the track and has a launch. Naturally, this needed a lot of adjustments in the early years, including adding a second launch to get the train up and out of the mountain, and given its mechanics and setting, it was not easy to maintain. But for 20 years, this was King's Dominion's most popular coaster, and is at the top of a lot of people's list of favorite defunct coasters. May 10th, 2019. Wildwood Grove opens at Dollywood. This was a little more than 10% of a $300 million 6-year expansion project, this area spanning 5 acres and catered towards kids and families. It took a year and a half from start to finish, including a restaurant, a splash pad, a swinging boat, and the headline attraction, a Vekoma suspended family coaster, Dragonflyer. Wildwood Grove was exactly what Dollywood needed, a state-of-the-art land geared towards kids, and Dollywood did it right. Wildwood Grove would win the Golden Ticket Award for Best Kids Area and take home that award for the next 5 years, adding another impressive family launch coaster in 2023, Big Bear Mountain. Wildwood Grove has completed Dollywood, making the park that much more well-rounded, and was a big reason the park also won the Golden Ticket Award for World's Best Park in 2023. When Universal opened Islands of Adventure in 1999, it featured the only pair of B&M inverts in the world, dueling dragons. This was part of the Lost Continent section of the park and seemed like it would last forever. But that would not prove to be the case. The ride would stop dueling in 2011 after guests were hurt by flying objects, and once the Lost Continent became the Wizarding World, it just didn't fit in anymore. Universal had to make the hard decision to scrap the beloved coaster in 2017, and that would leave a big empty plot of land that would have to be filled with something amazing. June 13th, 2019. Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure opens, a family-friendly intimate coaster featuring 7 launches, a backward section, and a drop track, combining state-of-the-art theming with good thrills. And all that effort came with a staggering price tag, $300 million. Despite its great capacity, the ride still pulled a 10-hour wait after it opened, and as much as enthusiasts love the dragons, Hagrid seems to have won them over, offering something for everyone. It cost Universal dearly, but they did well. August 26, 2019. Six Flags Qiddiya unveils details for their new mega park. This was a project that was announced back in 2017, part of a whole entertainment complex that was part of Saudi Vision 2030, an effort to draw in a massive amount of tourism. Now we knew what they were planning, and it was spectacular. Their headline coaster wasn't just a headline coaster. It would make every other part of that announcement irrelevant. Falcon's Flight was to become the world's tallest, fastest, and longest coaster, and nobody knew exactly how tall, fast, and long it would be. But based on the animation, shooting on top of a cliff and diving down into a massive camelback, this didn't even seem real. The park was set to open in 2023, but has been delayed a couple times since, and in the meantime, we have seen the impossible coaster take shape. The project taken on by Intamin, officially launching the train on top of the cliff and diving off, and now we know what we're dealing with. 640 feet tall, 155 miles an hour, almost 14,000 feet of track. This shatters every record in the book, and we'll see how successful this park and this coaster is once it opens this year. October 25th, 2019. Nickelodeon Universe opens at the brand new American Dream Mall, a project that was proposed all the way back in 2003, and over a decade and a half of challenges and delays, it was finally ready to go by the end of 2019. 3 years prior, the 555 Group announced they would use the 8-acre amusement park space for another Nickelodeon Universe park, the same type of park they operate at the Mall of America. This would have 5 coasters, including an intimate vertical LSM coaster and 2 intertwined Gerslauers, one being a spinning coaster and the other being the world's steepest coaster, 125.5 degrees down, TMNT Shellraiser being a near clone of Japan's Takabisha. Upon its opening, only 2 coasters would be open, Shellraiser being one and Nickelodeon Slime Streak being the other. Just as the park was getting on its feet, it shut down for 7 months because of COVID, reopening on October 1st, 2020 at 25% capacity, and this would also be the first time Sandy's Blasting Bronco would be in action. Over the years, this park has faced criticism for many of its rides being closed at the same time. Shellraiser shut down early in 2024 and did not reopen, but the park lives on. A lot changed between 2003 and 2019, malls becoming less relevant amid the rise of online shopping, so it's attractions like Nickelodeon Universe that draw people inside, and hopefully the park has a bright future. August 15th, 2015. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge was announced for both Disneyland and Hollywood Studios. This came almost 3 years after Disney acquired Lucasfilm, a $4 billion deal that led to a new trilogy, and now we would see Disney capitalize on that brand in their parks. May 31st, 2019. Galaxy's Edge opens at Disneyland. August 29th, 2019. Galaxy's Edge opens at Hollywood Studios. These would be defined by rockwork surrounding the area, Bob Iger wanting the lands to be populated by aliens, droids, humanoids, staying committed to the Star Wars story from top to bottom. The big ride to debut with the land would be Millennium Falcon's Smuggler's Run, an impressive motion simulator where each rider is given a job before they board the craft. Meanwhile, each park was working on something bigger. Rise of the Resistance would be a trackless dark ride, one of the most impressive and innovative attractions of all time, and tops the list of a lot of people's favorite rides, coaster or non-coaster. The acquisition of Lucasfilm was very profitable, the trilogy grossing over $4.3 billion, and these new areas making Disneyland and Hollywood Studios that much more attractive, sparing no expense and really paying off. That's a wrap on 2019. Let me know what you think of the list, and if you have any theme park memories from 2019, sound off in the comments below. This was my second year on YouTube, so I traveled a lot. I did a southeast trip in April, a road trip to Lagoon, Silverwood, and the Pacific Northwest in August, and I got to the opening of American Dream and Nickelodeon Universe in October. This was a huge year for the channel and helped shape what it would become over the next 6 years. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, and if you're new here and love coasters, please give me a sub. I have a playlist with more videos in this series. I want to thank my Patreons. If you want bonus access, bonus content, and have your name listed at the end of each video, check my links below and join. Also, check out my second channel where I post copyright-free off-ride footage. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.